Hello everyone, and welcome to this very special episode on the Real Estate Therapy series. This episode promises to be information-packed, action-filled, and just generally interesting, so stay tuned. On the last episode of the Real Estate Therapy series, I promised we're going to have a very special guest on set, and our guest is here right now. He's the guru and a whiz on anything and everything real estate. He's a leader, a father, and a husband, and he's also the MD CEO of Onyx Global. With me on set is Mr. David Abayomi.
Thank you so much. This is a great accolade. Good day, everyone, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on set with us today. We really appreciate you, sir.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, so we have a series of questions and comments for you to answer, and I know you're going to give us all the answers that we need.
Of course, absolutely.
Yes, sir. Okay, so going into the questions, the first one is, what are the necessary documents one needs to go into real estate? So that's before going into real estate, during the process, after the process, what are the documents that is needed for the real estate process?
Okay, is it an investor or as a client that is going to be buying? I want to get a question right. A developer or a client?
A client, definitely.
Okay, as a client who is going to be investing in real estate, right? Number one document that you should be concerned about is to know the reputation of the company you are dealing with. Number one, you want to check their background. This guy registered with Corporate Affairs Commission, the CAC, right? Also, you want to check to make sure they have some important document as REDAN, that's a Real Estate Developer Associations of Nigeria. You want to make sure they have LASRERA, Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority. All of this document is just on the company, right? So going into the land that you want to purchase, you need to be ascertain the documentation on that land. You want to ask for the survey plan of that land. If the land has any title, let's assume we are talking about a C of O, we are talking about a governor's consent, we are talking about a gazette, or we're talking about accession. You want to request for the document that is backing up all of this property so that you know that your investment is secured. So these are important documents you need to have when you're going into real estate investment.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question, what is the difference between a registered survey and a provisional survey?
Okay, on a registered survey, right, there have been so many misconceptions about a registered survey and a provisional survey, right? As a matter of fact, many people do not know the difference between these two. Looking at it genuinely, it looks alike. I mean, it's just the same thing. There's nothing much, looking at it physically, but the in-depth of the survey is quite different. That's where you get the validation that you want. On a registered survey, just as it sounds, registered, it means that is something that has a kind of a backup, right? That's something that you can trace to a particular destination. That's what a registered survey is. For a good example, if you have purchased a land from our company and you apply for a registered survey, what we do is registered survey has to be registered in Alausa under the Surveyor General's office, right? And there's something that makes it different. They call it a SOCON number. The SOCON number, mostly on the registered survey, you see it as SC. Right, that's SOCOM, that's just the abbreviation of that number. So you see it as SC, right, and it is duly registered. Many people feels like, okay, when a survey has this land is free from government acquisition, that's the only time the survey is registered. No, that is totally wrong, right? But for you to know the difference between these two, the only difference is just the SOCOM number, and a provisional survey doesn't have that. Okay, yeah, the provisional survey doesn't have that. It only comes with ABT. Yeah, that's what number you see on it. But when a survey is registered, and a registered survey is done by a registered surveyor, an ordinary surveyor cannot give you a registered survey. So a registered surveyor walks into Alausa, purchase the so-called number, which are your prefix number, or they call this beacon number, right? This beacon number is fixed at the edges of that land all around, and then it's being mounted on site mostly. So this is printed on a paper and is presented to you. So on such paper, on such survey, there's what we call a backup, right? That a witness to the fact that it has been registered inside the Lausa. So they will give you that paper. It doesn't come out immediately, actually. It takes quite some time before it comes out. Then after you have that with you, that number can be confirmed. This allows, okay, yeah, this is coming in my name. which a provisional survey doesn't give you that. What provisional survey gives you mostly is just for you to be able to have the map of your land. You just, okay, yeah, it's in this location because of the coordinate number is going to be on it, and also it shows you the, you know, the shape of the land, right? It shows you the shape of the land, and it helps your architecture, you know, your architect to give you architectural designs rather, right? Your architect can come up with your building plan just with a provisional survey, but it's not a registered survey. It cannot be confirmed inside, you know, Surveyor General, the office of the Surveyor General.
So can you have more than one copies of each, like one for the clients or for the developer, or who holds these?
Yeah, mostly most surveys, either provisional or a registered survey, comes in 5 copies.
Okay.
Right? It comes 5 copies, and why it comes 5 copies is this: a copy goes to the surveyor, the registered surveyor that prepared it. Okay. Right? It's going to have a 1. That's meaning 4. Then the company, the real estate company, or you are purchasing for someone, needs to have a copy of that as well. Okay. Then the 3 other copies goes to you. And the advantage of having 3 copies is either you are giving your lawyer 1 to keep with him, you are giving your architect 1 for the purpose of your building, right? Then you're going to have 1 to yourself.
All right. Thank you so much. That was very elaborate. Thank you. So the next question is, what is the best land title in real estate?
That's a good one, right? Talking about the best land title in real estate, it depends on your perspective, right? Individual has their own perspective. As a developer in the industry, I do not really have a kind of best title per se. All I'm concerned about is that is the land committed or not. Once the land is not committed, right? Not a global acquisition we're talking about. We have a committed, I think that's another topic that we are not going into actually. So now we're talking about the best land title. Some persons I've met over the years, I've met some persons that say, oh, I do not want to buy a land of C of O. Truth be told, as a person, I don't like to buy a property with a C of O. I'm not going to lie to you, right? Because many people do not understand what is behind C of O. Majority of us, when we were growing up, we were told what we understand about only land title is C of O, because that's what everybody is shouting, C of O. So that's not the only land title. As a matter of fact, it's not the best land title that you can ever have, right? So when it talks about land title, number one thing that you want to be sure of is that, okay, the land is not committed. When the land is not committed, you can process the title to any land that you want. As per Lagos State right now, I think the height of title that we have is governor's consent, right? Yeah. So many people doesn't know that you don't need a C of O to have a governor's consent. There's some land that comes with official gazette, Lagos State official gazette. You can actually get your governor's consent on such title, right? I mean, and the governor's consent, it's just the governor attestating to your deed of assignment that I know about this transaction, right? So I'm confirming to you that this transaction actually happened, and that's what governor is consenting to that transaction, right? That's what government consent is all about. So talking about land title, which one is best? Just make sure that the land you are buying is not committed. When it's not committed, you can process the title that you want. Just like I said, it's on perspective. Some persons enjoy to have a session on their land. Some persons enjoy to have a gazette on their land. Some persons prefer to have a C of O. While some persons will say, okay, yeah, what I need is a part of them more, which is the governor's consent, right? Okay. So I mean, but in Abuja, it's quite different. In some other part of the state too, it's different, right? Okay. But in Lagos State, I think governor's consent is what we.
That's what you would recommend.
Yeah, I mean, I recommend all titles.
Okay.
From excision to gazette to C of O to governor's consent and also to freehold lands. All I know is that once land is not committed, once I'm not telling you this land is a committed acquisition, you can go ahead.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next question, what are some of the common mistakes people make when investing in real estate?
Okay, because of our time, I'm just going to mention about 2-3 points, right? The common mistake people make. Number one mistake that people make is talking to family members. Letting people that doesn't understand the concept of real estate investment to determine what they want to do. Or rather, going to someone who has no experience or a testimony on real estate to advise them. People make that mistakes a lot, right? Number two mistake that I think is common that people make is all about not doing your due diligence before investing in real estate, right? Some persons, it's not a crime that you are not in the country or you're in diaspora or you are not even in Lagos State. If you wish like to invest in Lagos State, right? Then it's not a crime not visiting it, but you just want to be sure you do your background check, just like I earlier mentioned, on the company you are investing with, right? That's another point. Number 3 point is, going to invest with Omonile. I mean, that's you do not want to experience the calamity that comes with that, right? It's always advisable to pay extra buying from a real estate company that's saying you want to buy from Omonile. You might going to regret it, actually. 90% of people that's bought land from Omonile actually regret it. That's just the basic truth. So you do not want to make that mistake at the same time. Number 3, let me say number 4 mistakes is people say, no, this place is bush, I'm not going to buy in this place. Come on, you are not investing in real estate because of the post you want to live in, right? People say, I can't buy this land, I don't like that environment. Who says you should like that environment? What we're talking about here is that's where people are moving to. I don't like Ekpe. I've built houses in Lekki. You don't need to come and live in Ekpe. What we're telling you is invest in Ekpe so that you can become a landlord to those people there. Robert Kiyosaki said, find out where people are going to, and before they get there, buy the land, right? Why we have somebody to say that I'm Omonile here because they were there before you. So when you see opportunity to be there before someone else, you should be there. So people should not make that mistake by saying, this place is bush, that place is bush, I don't know where to develop. I mean, come on, it's one of the errors you're just going to make. I mean, so many points, though, but because for the time, they just
so a follow-up question on the Omonile question. So like, if you're buying land from them, there's no procedure, right?
If you're buying land from Omonile, same. If you're buying land banking investment, it is not wise to buy from Omonile, right? As a real estate company or as a real estate developer, I'm not going to tell you that it has been smooth, no up and down with this Omonile. Of course, we sometimes we throw away money, in the hand of this Omonile. We lost some money with them. Why? And we try as much as possible to protect our client investment, so you don't lose your own money, right? These guys, you can't really you can't predict them. But in as much as you are buying from a real estate company, number one thing that they are doing is that they are keeping tabs on those land, right? There are estate that we have sold out over 2 years ago, but we still keep tabs on those properties to make. But somebody like you that just want to do land banking investment, you are not going to be there for some times, and then you just want to make sure that land is well secured and you have the security on that land when you buy from real estate company. And another thing buying land from Omonile will cost you is at every point of construction you will pay. If you are going to buy a land from real estate company for 5 million naira and you have gone to Omonile to buy for 3.5 million, see that 1.5 million, you will pay the double, right? Because when you are going to do the foundation, they will pay. You will even buy beauty. You almost buy all beauty for them. You buy 3, buy this, buy that. When you are going to be doing roofing, they will come. The day you are doing painting, they will come. They just keep coming back. So when you buy from real estate company, all this, so you don't want to make that mistake, right? You don't want to make that mistake dealing with your money. It's not always sweet.
Thank you. That was very, very insightful. Question 5. Actually, I'm really curious about this one myself. Okay. Are real estate prices negotiable?
That question, right? Are real estate prices negotiable? Some occasions they are, right? And when I mention some occasions, right, when you see a property that is on a pre-launch price, the price is already negotiable, right? When the estate hasn't been launched yet and it's just been newly introduced to the market, see, that time most developers need money. That's why there is a pre-launch price, and we need that money in order maybe we have some few amounts to pay up for the land. Okay, we want to let the land experience some development. So that period, you can actually come in and say, I want to buy like 5 acres of land here. I want to buy like 2 acres in your estate. So what discount are you giving me? So you can actually so let's work out some discount. But especially when you are buying in acres, all real estate company tends to give you some discount, on the property. And another way you can actually negotiate on real estate is when you are buying at a promo price. Like currently we have promos running. It's already been reduced for you. You don't want to become like Yalojana or this market when you want to buy yam. Say, is it selling for 500 naira? Is that come and take it? Is that no? What I have is 400. Bring money. You say, I just check, the money is 300. No, the real estate is not like that. Real estate is fixed, but most time people need money, developer needs money to achieve 1 or 2 things very fast on that estate. Then we introduce pre-launch price, we introduce discount sales, and when you are buying an acre, yes, you can negotiate, why not? I mean, so to some extent, real estate is negotiable.
Okay, thank you. Very insightful. Moving on to the next question. Is it possible for one to sell a piece of land to a real estate company? If I have a piece of land I want to sell, can I sell it to you?
When we say a piece of land, right? A piece of land, when it's divided into square meters, it could be up to 4 plots. And it's just a piece of land, right? Yeah. A piece of land, to my understanding, could be a land that is just fenced together in one particular location, right? Then don't forget that we have a piece of land could be 200 square meters, a piece of land could be 300 square meters, and a piece of land sometimes can be up to 1,000 square meters. Yeah. So yeah, but a real estate company that is buying for development's sake would not buy a one plot of land of 400 square meters or 600 square meters. No, what do you want to do with that? Except also you are looking at into building projects, you can actually buy that. It's within a prime location, you can buy that, right? As a real estate developer, or you know that you are not reselling the land, you want to build, you want to develop the land. Okay, like currently where we are building Onyx abroad is we can actually refer to it as a piece of land which is just about 4.5 plots of land already fenced together, but we cannot resell that out. Instead, we are developing Onyx abroad project right there, right? Because when we sell land, we buy up to like 5, 20, 25, 35 acres of land to sell, right? So, but if you are looking at a development of just, I want to build here, why not? You can sell a piece of land if it's up to 1,000 square meters, but not like 200, 300 square meters do. But when it's from 1,000 square meters above, yeah, there are companies that are going to buy that for the purpose of building sake. Right.
So after this, you have a land I want to sell. So we'll talk.
Okay, that's fine.
Alright guys, so at this junction we're going to take a quick break, but don't you leave, because immediately we get back we're going to have more action-packed and more information-filled content coming for you. So stay right there. And we're back, guys. Still on set with me is the MD CEO of Onyx Global, Mr. David Abayomi.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a very, very important question. The next question is, what is your love language?
Is it part of real estate too?
Everything, yes. It's a fun question to just throw you off your feet.
My love language?
Yes, sir.
Hey, real estate too. Well, this is a bit tough. I thought we are doing real estate section. This is okay. It's real estate too. And money.
Okay, that was very exciting. His love language is real estate and money. Very, very exciting one. Okay, moving on. Next question that we have here: how can one avoid getting real estate scammed?
Okay. Yeah, that's the question we are expecting to do. Okay, so avoiding getting scammed in real estate. Like I said earlier, there are some factors that need to be put in or set in place when investing in real estate. It's not just about investing in real estate. I thought some people said there's a way you can invest in real estate and you lose money, and there's a way you invest in real estate and you make more money, right? So for you to avoid getting scammed, number one thing, as I've previously said, is to check, work on the background of the company you are investing with. Do not invest, I'm saying it again, do not invest with Omonile. It is not 90 to 95% of time, it doesn't just work, right? So make sure you know the background of the company you are investing with. Do your due diligence. If these two things are done, then you're fine. There is no way you can either get scammed in real estate. And immediately you make your purchase, make sure you secure your proper documents, right? Make sure you get all the necessary documents. Part of the document that the company or an individual selling to you should give you, number one, it's a receipt, but that doesn't mean you own the land. Number two is your survey plan. Either it is provisional or it is registered. Make sure you have that. But the most important part of the document is the deed of assignment, because that's what transfer the ownership to you. Okay, so that way you can avoid getting avoid getting scammed in real estate, and also get yourself a property lawyer. right? Get yourself a very good property lawyer. You can see what I said, a property lawyer. There are so many, there are so many aspects of this law thing. There are some that are just, it's just about criminology, but make sure you are getting yourself a property lawyer. Somebody that is just to settle relationship fight in the court will not have the in-depth of documentation. I have heard a lawyer saying before that C of O is not a good title, a gazette is not a good title, and I imagine myself, is this person really a lawyer? So make sure that you set all this thing in place. Most especially, know the company or individual that you are investing with. With that, your story will be sweet.
All right, thank you so much. Moving on to the next question. This is it's a personal question.
Okay.
So why did you decide to go into real estate?
All right, I came into this industry, right, basically because of the passion, right? I have passion for this industry. I'm not in for the money, right? Because if you're in for the money, you're going to get so many things wrong. Even till now, I still go to site. Most people on site, they see me as an engineer. They don't even see me as the MD of the company. They say, engineer. Some people call me surveyor. Because when the surveyors are working, I'm there with them. When the bricklayers are working, I'm there with them. Right? So the passion is so strong for this industry, and it is bettered out of what I've done. Previously, I've worked as a realtor, I've served as operational manager for several companies, real estate industry at the same time. And I mean, over the years, I've developed this huge passion for it that, I really want to do this, and also not only for the profit sake. Of course, we're working to make money, but if it's just about the money, I wouldn't even be on site anymore. But the passion is so strong to help people achieve their goal, their dreams of becoming a landowner, their dreams of becoming a landlord. And also I looked at this as an atmosphere to create employment also for people. I mean, the whole process of coming to real estate industry is just for humanity's sake. And not for my own passion as well.
All right, love that. So a follow-up question: passion, motivation, all these things. What do you do when you're low on passion, you're low on motivation? How do you keep that drive going?
Yeah, there are so many times that in the industry, you feel like, what is really happening?
Yes.
You have to deal with this, deal with that at the same time. Well, the only thing that still keeps me going, like I said, is I still channel it down back to the passion, for the love that I have for the industry. Then I looked at everybody all around me. I looked at, currently we have about both the staff at the office and those that are not in the office. We have over 30 people working with company, and really, where do you want them to go? You just have to bring yourself up. You just have to motivate yourself. You just have to go in for it. Our set of bricklayers, our set of engineers, our set of surveyors, and so many other angles. Really, you just want to keep going, right? Just want to keep going.
All right, thank you for that response. Next question. Where do you see Nigeria's real estate investment in 5 to 10 years?
Okay, Nigerian real estate investment is right. See, I think Nigeria is one of the country in Africa. Let me limit down to Africa for now. In Africa, that real estate industry is really going wow on daily basis, right? Especially in this part of Nigeria, Lagos State, right? Looking at in the next 5-10 years, all I can say is if you are not investing now, I'm going to go and invest in real estate, no matter how small, because in the next 5 years and 10 years to come, real estate industry would have been able to, the ROI people will be getting on their investment would be very massive, because in the way I think in Africa we are one of the most populated country, if we are not the most populated country. So we need to create shelter, and we don't have more land. We don't have land available again. That's the truth. People are going into Sandfield water now just to sell as land. So if you're not investing now, in the next 10 years, you're not going to be making so much money for yourself. Only people that have invested now will be making a whole lot of money in the next 5 to 10 years as far real estate is concerned in Nigeria. It's going to be really, really wow. It's going bigger and bigger on a daily basis.
Okay, nice. Sounds like Mr. David has a lot of information, but we have just 2 questions left. So this one is actually a social media question.
Okay.
Mr. Sheyi Paul left a comment. He said, wow, very insightful. But the question he said was, what questions do you ask clients to make sure that their needs are met?
Oh, okay. One thing I tell people is, when you have a prospect, you really want to listen more than talking, right? You need to know where, I mean, the best way you can actually get that out of a client to know you have served them well is only when you listen to them, right? From listening to them, they will tell you what they don't like. They will tell you what they like. You are able to get exact, what exactly they have in mind as per the investment, right? You don't just talk and then just assume that you have served. No, even after you have served a client, I mean, this is talking to our partners, consultants, realtors out there now. After you have been able to serve a client, make sure that till the end, till the time they get their documentation and allocation, you are working with them in that process. Not just after selling to them, you just you disappear. No. And if you do that, then you keep asking questions. How have you been able to serve you? Are you satisfied with this? Just follow up. Let them give you the feedback. Then you are able to, know if you have done a good job or not.
All
right?
Thank you. Now we're down to our last question. What advice would you give anyone going into real estate right now?
Yeah, it's been said, right? Yeah. If you're going to go into real estate right now, I will say congratulations to you because you're actually making the very best decision. Just yesterday, 22nd of September, this same month, I received somebody in my office, and the man came with his son, and they shared their real estate experience with me. This man told me in 1997 he bought about 12 plots of land. He was a teacher then. He was working in one school on the mainland there. So he bought about 12 plots of land at I think in Ogun State, right? And he said he bought it at 270,000 naira per plot. A full plot of about 600 square meters. But as we speak today, like yesterday he was telling me, he said a half plot is sold for 7.5 million. 7.5 million half plot. So which means the whole full plot is being sold for 15 million right now. That's the land he bought for 270,000, right, in 1997. Right? So if you are going to real estate right now, this is just the best decision you are giving yourself. Queen Elizabeth too just died, and then we've heard story of how she left a fortune for the grandson. That's tell you that real estate is is generational wealth. You are building a generational wealth, right? This is real. I was talking to him and I said, yeah, there are some of my estate I'm closing sales, and why I'm closing sales is because the remaining plot is going to be for my children. By the time they are going to go into the university, if I give them about 5 plots, all I have to do is just to sell 2 plots, and 4 years, 5 years in university, they are done, and that's going to take care of the whole, the whole thing. So if you are investing in real estate, like I said, I'm saying congratulations to you because you are making the very best decision for yourself, not for yourself only, for your generations to come.
Wow.
Right.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time. There you have it, guys. Mr. David Abayomi has shed some light on anything and everything real estate. Be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and questions in the comment section. But most especially your questions. We need to know what's bothering you, what's on your mind, and we'll be sure to answer the questions to the best of our ability. I remain your host, Temi Ade. And with that, it's till the next episode. Bye.